Hello guys, welcome back to Manala's Arc. This is a financial mathematics video and I'm doing this video just to solve a question from a previous paper. This is a paper that was written last year, 2023, for financial mathematics. So to go through this paper, I want to keep everything short, but first I want to start with the basics. This will be the first video in this series that I'm making. I don't know how many videos will I make about like this one, right? It says here, we have number one, simple interest. So we are working here with things that you knew from the previous grade. From grade 9, we've been working with simple interest and compound interest. So there's actually nothing new to that in grade 10, right? So we know that when you calculate simple interest, the question is going to guide you. That here, you must use the simple interest formula. There'll be keywords that will tell you that. Otherwise, if not that, you'll hear the words such as higher purchase calculation. Once they say higher purchase, just know that you have to use the simple interest formula. Sometimes they might say things like a small loan for household items, and just know that this is simple interest. All right. So simple interest, it's as easy as that. And then the compound interest formula. The compound interest formula usually is associated with investments that happened over a long period of time, right? So number one, the question will tell you that here the interest is compounded per annum, something like that, annually, things like that, right? So there'll be keywords that will tell you that you must use the compound interest formula. Or you will know that they're investments, but some investments are simple interest, some investments are compound interest. So in the word investment alone does not justify whether you must use compound interest or simple interest. I'm just saying now that for investments, most investments happen through compound interest, right? And then inflation is direct, it's guaranteed. When we talk about inflation, we're talking about the compound interest formula. So when we ask you to calculate the rate of inflation or anything like that related to inflation, just know that you must use the compound interest formula. When we talk about population and growth, this is guaranteed. We must use the compound interest formula. So the only part that is not guaranteed is this one of investments. But when we say inflation or growth, just know that you must use the compound interest formula. So here's the question that I took now. This is from November 2023. This is their question 6, right? So what I'm going to do is that I'll keep on alternating between this question and the answer space. Question, answer space, question, answer space. Because, I can't write here. There isn't enough space. But I'm sure thus far you get it, right? Hope so. Now, let's get to the question. Let me take out my highlighter there. You need a highlighter for situations like this. So it says Gugu buys a double bed, which cost this much. This thing is costing 12,000 when? Today. So this is the principal amount. This is my P. Gugu buys a bed that costs 12,000. Today this bed is worth 12,000. Okay, let's move on. On higher purchase. Now look at that. Higher purchase says what? Higher purchase says we must use the simple interest formula, right? Okay, it says she is charged 12% per annum over 6 years. Now another keyword here, 12% per annum. Another keyword again, it's this one that says over 6 years. Let me choose a lighter highlighter there. Where's that highlighter? Let me choose that. Over 6 years. Oops, that's not a highlighter. Let's erase that. Okay. But then you see what I want to say here. Over 6 years. So this is our N. And this is our I. Right? We have P, we have N, we have everything we need. Now, the first question here it is. 6.1.1. Calculate the total amount she will pay for the double bed. Let's do that. Thin pencil. That is 6.1.1, right? So 6.1.1. We are using what? The simple interest formula, because they said what? The word higher purchase. Right there. We are looking for what? The amount she will pay for the bed. How much is the bed worth worth today. This is a mouthful. We have 12,000 for today. So here we go. 1 plus, what is our I? Our I is said to be 12%. So we are going to write here 0.12. That's the I. What is the N? N is the period. The period is 6 years. So here I'll put 6 here. And then afterwards, you just put everything here on a calculator. Don't try to simplify things. Don't try to do any magic here. I'm taking out my calculator and right now I'm calculating these things. So here, putting everything on my calculator, over 6 years, I'm getting 12,864. No decimals. It ends there. Easy as that. I don't know how many marks this thing is worth. 3 marks. I don't think it's worth 3 marks, but okay, it's fine. That's how it goes. That's what it is, right? Mark, mark, mark. Are we all set? So let's move on here, right? Hope everything is proper. So 3 marks there. I hope I didn't make any mistakes. Let me confirm my answer just to make sure that I didn't make a mistake, right? Let me confirm my answer right there. Where's my calculator? Right there. Oops. Yeah, I did make a mistake. Should have known. It's so like me to make mistakes sometimes. Let me fix that. That is 20,640. Voila. There we go. The next question, it says now, how much interest will she pay over the period? Now, if there is any one of you who might have forgotten how do we calculate the interest, I hope this video reminds you, because interest should be one of the easiest things to calculate, right? So for you to find interest, you're going to take A and minus P. In this situation, what is my A? My A is 20,640. What is my P? My P is 12,000. Therefore, my interest, now this is not an interest percentage, this is not an interest rate, this is just interest. Right, I get 8,640 here. I know there are people who said, you don't even need a calculator for that. Oh, that's fine, guys. Rather be safe than sorry. And then 6.1.3, it says calculate her monthly installments. So for you to get the monthly installment, you want your A, right? Let me show you here. You're going to say monthly installments is equals to, you take your A. How much is your A? Your A is 20,640. You divide by the number of years. She's going to pay this for what? For 6 years. However, she's not going to pay this thing with year installments. She's going to pay this with monthly installments. So in that 6 years, each 6 year has 12. Each year has 12 months, right? So we're going to take this 6 years and multiply it by 12 months because every year has 12 months. And so then now our value here is going to be 2640 over 6 by 12. Monthly installments, we are going to have rounded off to 2 decimal places, 286.67. Nice. You see that? 6.1.3 done. Now moving on to the next question. This question here says, let me take a highlighter. It says the population of KwaZulu-Natal. You see what are we working with here? Population, keyword, which means we use what? Compound interest formula. It says the population of a city in KwaZulu-Natal is its present tense. Those who are doing English, you will know this by now. So this is the present amount. Even though we are not talking money, it's still an amount for the year 2020. Okay, this 2020 might be useful. Assuming that the population will continue to increase at a constant rate of 5.25%. What is that now? That is our I. Right? Let's move on. Each year, estimate, okay, the constant rate of 5.25 each year. Estimate the population of the city at the beginning of 2024. First it was 2020, now it's 2024. We are moving forward, so which means really this was the principal amount. Now calculate the what for this year, right? So we are moving from this to this, which gives us our N. Our N from 2020 to 2024, it's what? It's 4 years, right? We have the N, we have the I, we have the P. What are we looking for? For the A, right? So 6.2, we are looking for A. Let me erase here. Oh, I don't even need to erase. Okay, let's erase, man. There we go. Everything erased. 6.2 now. We said we're working with what? Population. Population demands us to use what? The compound interest formula. What are we looking for? We are looking for the A. What is the principal amount? The principal amount is this amount, 2.5 million. Right? 2.5 million. Some of us don't know how to call this number without using the weight points. 2,500,000. Is that it? Yeah, of course. And then what is our I? Our I is 5.25%. And now when I write that as a decimal, bear in mind, I don't know who needs to hear this, but we said when you write this thing, your interest, when you substitute it in, you can only substitute it in as a fraction or as a decimal. Do not, I repeat, do not ever try to write the percentage as a percentage in your substitution. 0.525, 0.525, that is 0.0525. Do not ever try to write this thing here as a percentage the way you see it on the question. Either write it as a fraction or write it as a decimal. Easy as that. Okay, what is the period? We said our N is 4 years. Right? Let's confirm. And it's 4 years from 2020 to 2024. And then what's left here is for us to just to make calculations. So here we have our value being this much here. I'm even lazy to write it down because this is a huge number. 780.9,774. This is, I don't even want to try it, but you see that, right? So let's write it down. Let's remove this. Our A. Let's choose a pen. Our A is equals to, now because this is the final answer, make sure that it has a unit. Make sure it has a unit. Hope we good. 0.67809,77 rounded off to 2 decimal places. All set. That was 6.2. Now 6.3. Let me see. It says if the current exchange rate is $1, here I am. $1 is equals to 19.08 cents and £1 is equals to 23.31. Determine the exchange rate between the dollar and the pound. An interesting question to have. A very interesting question to have. Now, what I want you to understand is that you are given things in dollars, comparison between dollar and rands, comparison between pound and rands, right? So what I want you to understand is that you need to make rand the subject of the formula in each and every situation, right? So let me cut this question and put it in the next page. It won't work. It's going to take a lot of my time. So it says $1 is equals to 19.08. Let me write that. And then it says £1 is equals to 23.31. It's right there. Right. So in each and every situation here, they made dollar the subject of the formula. They made pound the subject of the formula. Because why? The dollar is in 1 unit form. The pound is in 1 unit form. So Because now they want you to compare the dollar to the pound, you must, in each and every situation here, make the rand to be in the unit form and also make the rand to be in the unit form here. So how do we do that? In this situation, it's easier for us to divide this side by 19,08 so that we can make this 1 rand. And what we do on the right, we also do on the left. Divide by 19,08. So this will remove that. I'll be left with what here? I'll be left with 1 rand. Therefore, I'll be saying now that 1 rand is equals to, let me use my calculator here, 19,08. This thing here will be equivalent to 1 rand will be equal to $0.05, right? Now, 1 rand is in a unit form. I made it the subject of the formula. The next part that I have to do here is to make sure now that I make rand the subject of the formula also on this side. So I'll divide this side by 23,31. What I do on the right, I also do on the left, this way. So this cancels that, such that now I'm left with 1 rand on this side. And then in terms of pounds, pound wise, pound for pound, I have 3, that is 0,04. Where is it? 0,04, rounded off to 2 decimal places. Now that I have this thing being 1 rand and this thing being 1 rand, I can clearly say this 1 rand is equal to this 1 rand. 1 rand is 1 rand, right? So, however, in this situation, 1 rand is, let me choose that. In the situation on the right, 1 rand is equivalent to 0,05. And then in this situation, 1 rand is equals to 0,04. Now, we need to go back to the question now and see what do we need to put in the unit form? Do we need to put the dollar in a unit form, or do we need to put the pound in a unit form, right? The question says, determine the exchange rate between the dollar and the pound. Dollar came first, so which means this dollar has to be in a unit form. So I go there, I try to make dollar to be in the unit form. For that to happen, I'll divide by 0,05. And then the same thing will apply here, 0,05. Now this will make us to have $1 in this situation. And on the right side, we are going to have 0,04. Check this. 0,04 divided by 0,05. That gives us 0,8. So there we go. $1 is equivalent to 0,8 pounds. Hope it makes sense. I hope you understand it. We good? So the next part that I'm having here is, let me see, the next question. The next question says Brent crude oil cost. It's another exchange rate question, right? Let me clear this area around so that I can answer that question properly. This question here is 2 marks, and I see that I'm already running on 18 minutes 30 seconds. I want to finish this before 21 minutes, right? So let's quickly do it. Brent crude oil cost $93.78 a barrel. Calculate the cost in rands of importing a barrel when the exchange rate is 19.08 to the dollar, right? So this is the exchange rate. $1 is equal to this many rands. Let's write that down. We're saying here that is 6.4. We said $1 is equivalent to 19, it was 19, what? 08 rand. I think so. Yes. Afterwards, it said the Brent crude oil costs 93.78 a barrel. That's dollars. We want to know how much is that in rands. So now there's a concept of a known, there's a concept of an unknown. Here we have a detail about the dollar, a detail about the rand. Now, And then afterwards, we had an extra statement that provided us the other detail. We want to know whether the other detail they gave us, was it for the dollar or for the rands? So you must understand now that your question in this case is divided into two sections, the section of dollars and the section of rands, right? So the extra information we were given was $93.78. So we were given information on the dollar side. It is 93.78. And then we were not given information on the rands. Now, from here, the modus operandi is that we cross multiply. So now, in this situation, this dollar unit will cancel this dollar unit. So we no longer have dollars. We are left with rands. Cross multiplying means we multiply x with 1. That will give us x. That is equals to, we take this area here, 93.78, we multiplied with this part here. I mean, that's what cross multiplying is about, right? So I have 19.08 multiplied by 93.78. Now, this means now that I'll have x being equivalent to 17.89. Not 17.89. My calculator says 1789.32. What did I say? Before 21 minutes. Here we are. Thank you guys for watching this video, and this is the final answer here. I hope you understood this part and you were able to answer these questions. I hope you paused the video to answer the questions on your own first before you proceeded to see the solutions. So if you've reached this far and you haven't liked the video, please like the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the video. I hope your studying goes well and you enjoy maths. Goodbye for now and see you on the next video.